returned with his briefcase. His steps decisive and final. He had already decided that Ryan would be the solution for his son, someone who would teach responsibility by circumstances, someone malleable, someone with no voice to protest. Ryan was wiping a table when he appeared, standing straight, eyes scanning her like he measured everything, weighing every inch of her existence. Mr. King, Miss Ryan, correct? Wine's heart skipped a beat. Her hands trembling slightly, she nodded. Yes, sir, Mr. Kim. Your uncle, Mr. Minzo, is here as well. I have a proposal to discuss. She failed her chest tighten, but her uncle's presence gave her a small sense of protection. He cleared his throat nervously, avoiding eye contact with her uncle. Mr. Kim, what is this about? Mr. Kim's eyes flicked to Vi and then back to her uncle. Mr. Kim, I will come directly to the point. I believe a marriage arrangement would benefit both families. My son Taehyung requires guidance and responsibility, and Miss Ryan, from what I understand, has been enduring hardships. This marriage could provide stability for both. Uncle, hesitant but almost guilty. So, her mine is she's very young and well she doesn't have much, but perhaps this it is the best way forward for her, for our family, and for her future. Ryan's heart pounded. She wanted to speak, to protest, to tell him she had no desire for this, but the weight of years of silence crushed her voice. Ryan, I have no choice. No one has ever cared what I wanted. They just want to satisfy their own work and own desires. That okay, so what should I think? Is it a yes? Uncle hesitated and looked at Ryan, where she was looking uncomfortable. Uncle, okay, as you say, sir. I just want the best for her, and she has already faced enough, so just want her to be happy. But what do you want her for your son, sir? Dad, my son is not in my control, so I want him to be mature, responsible for his career and for his responsibility for his future. So I thought Ryan will be a great choice. Uncle, oh, Ryan was just standing away, feeling hopeless, where a big decision of her life was taken. Later at their living room, and so you agreed for her. You should have suggested him Mira's name. They're rich and wealthy. My daughter would have better life. Uncle, no. He was the one to ask me, and his son is not eligible for anything. So this is why he asked for Ryan. So I agreed, and I don't want Mira to get married this soon. She's still 17. Aunt scoffed, but didn't say anything, and Ash didn't wanted anything good for Ryan, anything. And Ryan was listening to their talk behind the wall. She had to accept her fate. 2 weeks later, the marriage preparation started, and Taehyung learned of the arrangement. His reaction was explosive. Taehyung, what do you mean I'm getting married to a girl from a cafe? Are you insane? Mr. Kim remains calm as always. He has always been very calm and silent, very quiet, but very determined and disciplined. He's a very disciplined person, and he also wanted this for his son also. Mr. Kim, it is decided, Taehyung. You will marry her. I expect your compliance. Kalman. Taehyung compliance. You're treating me like a child to be scolded. I don't care about her. I don't want her. I refuse to be tied down by someone I have never ever met. Mrs. Kim stepped in, her voice soothing but firm. Mrs. Kim, Taehyung, perhaps you should see this is an opportunity. If you resist, it will only make things harder. Taehyung turned to her, his eyes flashing. Taehyung, you are taking their side. Even you, mom. After everything, you support him over me. Taehyung, she's not even educated. And what will be my image and future, Mrs. Kim? Mr. Kim, I support your future, not your anger. You will understand why this is necessary in time. Taehyung clenched his face pale with frustration, rage, and fear swelled in him, but he was powerless against the authority of his father and the complaints of his mother. The day of the marriage arrived like a storm quietly creeping in. Wine wore a simple silk dress, a color chosen to be unobstructed. Sorry. Her hands were clammy, her eyes wide, a silent sea of turmoil behind them. Uncle had accompanied her to the hall, his shoulders tense. Uncle, why? It's just you must stay calm. Do what they expect. This is not your life, but it will be your way forward. Survive this, my child. Why? I have to. I have to survive. Maybe, just maybe, everything will be fine. With that hope, she went to the hall. The hall was filled with family members, friends, and staff. What Taehyung entered last, as though the world itself had cleared a path for him. He was confident, his gaze scanning the room and landing finally on Ryan. It was the first time their eyes met. Ryan froze. She had expected someone older, cruel, or indifferent, and his expression held something sharper. Contempt. Damn, so this is her. He didn't approach. He didn't smile. The ceremony began with prayers and blessings, but for both it was mechanical. Ryan repeated the words she had been told to repeat. Taehyung said his vows with a stiff, deliberate voice, avoiding her gaze entirely. The priest concluded the ceremony, and the hall erupted in polite congratulations. Presumably acknowledged the people around him. His eyes were cold, fixed on nothing. One felt the distance between them like a physical wall. Ryan, he hates me already. I can see it in his eyes. How am I supposed to survive this? After the ceremony, the newlyweds were escorted to the car. Taehyung did not offer his hand. Ryan got in quietly, head bowed, clutching her small purse. Taehyung, do not expect me to treat you like a wife. We are bound by this arrangement only. That is all. Even you are not even my type. Ryan flinched. Ryan, I understand this. Good, you should. If you try to speak otherwise, it will make life uncomfortable for you. Just act. She had been used to silence to the cruelty, but this direct hatred, this rejection cut deeper than she expected. She lowered her gaze to the floor, holding back tears she had no right to shed. She knew it was going to be worse, but still now she is free from her uncle, so she is now relieved. At the mention, they reached there, and then she was led to his room by the mates. Obviously, he's not gonna guide her. Then, after she reached his room, Taehyung, this is my room, and don't touch anything without my permission. All are very precious and expensive. Mine just nodded. Taehyung, but I will sleep on the bed, and the room is all yours. You can sleep wherever you want. Mine scoffed. Scoffed. Sorry. Taehyung then rolled his eyes and went to get freshen up, then came back and slept on the bed, covering like a buffalo. Next day, at the mansion, the first day were unbearable. Taehyung refused to let her accompany him to any social events. He mocked her manners subtly in front of staff at dinner. He would criticize her posture, her speech, her knowledge, always sharp, always calculated. Taehyung, Miss Ryan, you will not serve the soup like that in front of our guests. If you cannot manage such a simple task, perhaps you should leave it to someone trained. Ryan remained silent. The long dining hall felt suffocating despite its grandeur. The silence between them was louder than the ticking clock on the wall. One sat timidly, her eyes were on the plate before her, while he leaned back in his chair, his gaze sharp and unreadable. Mrs. Kim. Do you even realize how embarrassing this is for me? My father thinks as I need someone simple to keep me grounded. Simple is just another for useless. Fine, I didn't ask for this either. Taehyung slammed his spoon against the plate, the sound making her flinch. Taehyung, don't pretend to be innocent. Girls like you marry into wealth for comfort. Don't expect me to ever see you as my wife. You will just be my father's decision, nothing more. His words sank into her like a poison. Lowers her gaze, blinking back. His father's sharp eyes narrowed as he stepped closer. Mr. King, I heard how you spoke to her at the table in the morning. Taehyung, good. Then you know I won't play this little family drama you have created. Mr. Kim, don't you dare. Taehyung, she's your wife now, my choice, and in this house, my word is law. Taehyung finally looked at him, jaw tight, voice laced with anger. Taehyung, your choice? Exactly. She's yours choice, not mine. Do you expect me to pretend sit there smiling like this is some fairy tale marriage? Mr. Kim, I expect you to behave like a man who carries my name and a man who respects the woman sitting at his table. Damn, respect for someone who can't even string two sentences in English, for someone who doesn't belong anywhere near me, near this life. Mr. Kim's voice hardens. A final warning. Mr. Kim, you will not humiliate her again. Do you understand? You may hate her. You may hate her or hate me, but you will not destroy her dignity under my roof. She may be she may be uneducated. She may be educated, but she has her dignity. Taehyung doesn't respond. He just clutches his face, his eyes burning before storming out of the mansion. His pride shattered by his father's command, the anger festers within him all the morning. Later, Taehyung's office afternoon. Wyan stood hesitantly at the door, clutching the lunchbox she had carefully packed with trembling hands. She had walked into the intimidating building, the whispers of the employee trailing her back, all eyes on her, unfit wife for the cold CEO. Finally, she gathered courage and knocked softly on the office door. Quiet, Taehyung, I brought lunch for you. Taehyung was at his desk, typing furiously. At the sound of her voice, his hands froze on the keyboard. He he slowly raised his he slowly raised his head, his expression dark and unreadable. Then a cold smirk tugged at his lips. Taehyung, how sweet, the uneducated boy playing a housewife. Did my father order you to do all this? Why? No, I just thought maybe you didn't eat. You left in such a hurry this morning. Taehyung, don't pretend to care. Wine flinches at his sudden outburst, clutching the lunchbox tighter. Taehyung, do you even realize what it's like for me to have the world see you sitting in my house, reading my house name? Do you know what my employees whisper behind my back? The CEO married a nobody. His wife can't even speak properly. Why? I didn't choose this either. Why are you blaming me, Taehyung? I never wanted to be moved on me. You feel ashamed. Taehyung, then why are you here? Why are you standing in my office bringing me lunch like we are some happy couple? You are nothing but my father's punishment for me. Nothing. Her lips tremble, but she forces herself to speak even as tears burn her eyes. Fine, I only wanted to make things easier, to try at least. Taehyung, try? Do you think your trying will change anything? No matter how many times you pack my food, you will still be the same girl who doesn't belong in my world. You are a constant reminder of how trapped I am. He knocks the lunchbox from her hand. It crashes onto the floor, food spilling across the polished tiles. The silence that follows is mine. You didn't have to do that. Taehyung gazed at her, his chest heaving with unspoken rage, but deep inside guilt pricking at him through though he buried it under his pride. Ryan kneels quietly, gathering the pail of food with shaky hands, refusing to let him see her tears. Taeyang turns his back to her, staring at the window, jaw clenched so hard it hurt. Jaya, don't bring me lunch again. I don't need you here. Wine pauses, her hands trembling over the mess. Before she slowly stands up, her heart feels heavier than her footsteps as she walks out of his office, leaving the broken lunchbox behind. The silence that follows suffocated Taeyong, but he refused to admit even to himself and that his words had cut him too. At night, Wine would cry quietly in her room, wrapped in the thin comforter, thinking about her lost dreams, the life she might have had, and the warmth she would never receive from the man she was supposed to marry. Wine, I can't make him love me. I can't even make him like me. He hates me already, and I have nothing to give. Her tears fell silently to her pillow. No one heard. No one would hear. Taehyung, in his room, lounged with his phone, yet every now and then he heard of her. He thought of her not with care, not with concern, but with irritation. Her presence alone felt like a reminder of his confinement. He hated the fact that this girl, quiet and meek, has been forced into his life. The thought of her untouched by luxury, unrefined, and spiritual, uneducated in ways he valued, ground at him. Damn, how did father even find someone like this? Does he think I will be deemed by a people? Days turned into weeks, and Taehyung's hatred manifested in subtle and cruel ways. He refused her presence at gatherings, insulted her in front of staff, and kept the conversation strictly formal. Ryan endured as she always did, hiding her attack behind a veil of silence, but the weight of their forced union of his deliberate disdain pressed heavier with every passing day, and neither of them had yet realized just how far that weight would push them toward confrontation. Confrontation, heartbreak, and unraveling of what little reminded of their fragile connection. The grand ballroom of the five-star hotel, glittering with chandeliers, champagne glasses clinking, and live laughter going through the air. They walked in with his hand loosely on hers as if he wanted the world to know they were together but didn't want to feel the connection himself. His jaw was tensed, his cold expression enough to warn her not to make a mistake. Mr. Kim had ordered him to bring his wife despite Taehyung's protest. His father had said firmly, leaving Taehyung with no choice but to drag Wine along. Wine clutched her clutch bag nervously, her plain dress modest compared to the designer gowns around her. She could already feel glances of women and the mocking smirks of a few men. Friend 1. Taehyung, you finally brought her along. We thought you were hiding her from us. Friend 2. It's nice to finally meet you, Mrs. Kim. Thank you. It's nice to meet you too. Taehyung's eyes narrowed. Watching her, he stayed silent, his hand tightening around each glass of whiskey. One of the women whispered loudly enough for others to hear. Is not she the girl who didn't even finish her studies? Unusual for the Kim family. Wine's cheeks flushed, but before she could respond, another friend stepped in. That's not fair. She's here. It's not she. She has every right to stand behind you. Wine glanced gratefully at him, nodding slightly, but Taeyong caught the look and his blood boiled. He hated the way she seemed to accept their kindness as if she belonged there. Later in the evening, one of his friends cracked a harmless joke and Wine laughed softly, trying to ease her own discomfort. Her laughter was like genuine, something rare in her life lately, but Taeyong leaned closer, her voice like eyes in her ear. Damn, stop it, don't laugh like that. You look desperate. Wine froze, her smile fading immediately. She lowered her eyes, nodding Nodding quietly, the night dragged on every second of battle. Some of Taehyung's friends spoke kindly to her, asking simple questions about her hometown, her life. She asked, answered politely, shy but sincere. A few others rolled their eyes, shipping champion, clearly unimpressed. One friend, how lucky, she's sweet, not like all women here are genuine. But Taehyung's reply was bitter. Sweet doesn't count in my world. She is just a mistake forced on me. And the party finally ended. They returned home. Taehyung remained silent up the whole drive, his knuckles white as he gripped the steering wheel. Okay, Taehyung, do you even realize how embarrassing you were tonight? I, I didn't do anything wrong, Taehyung. I only answered when they asked me questions. Taehyung laughed at their jokes, smiled as if you were one of them. You're not, don't forget that. Why? Why do you hate it so much when I try to blend it? Would I rather stand like a statue and let everyone mock me? Damn, yes, that would be better than you making a fool of yourself. Ryan's eyes widened in disbelief. Fine. So no matter what I do, you will never see me as good enough. Taeyong, never. You were chosen by my father, not me. And you think a polite smile from my friends mean you belong in my world? You are even more foolish than I thought. Why? They're just nice to me. Is it wrong to answer them? Taeyong, wrong? Yes. When you act as if you belong there, you don't. Don't mistake the proposed politeness as friendship. He stood up, adjusting his expensive suit, his tone colder than the marble under their roof, under their feet. Sorry, Taeyong, from now on, you won't attend any of my parties or gatherings. You stay home. I won't let you drag my name into the dirt again. Once voice broken, chest tightened. Fine, so I'm just supposed to stay locked away while you live your life. Am I that much of a burden to you? Damn, burden? You were never my choice to begin with. My father chose you, thinking he would control me through you. But let me clear it. Nothing would